Hey guys, welcome to the book journey of the Way of the Superior Man. This is video 9 and chapter number 8. This chapter is Lean Just Beyond Your Edge. It's another small chapter. And just before we jump in, if you haven't already, again, go and buy the book or get the audiobook and follow along for the journey. It's well worth it, and I've got the links in the description below. Yeah, one more thing before we jump in. You might notice it's also different here where I am today as well. I'm still in Sri Lanka and still on this 30-day trip away. Just came from the ocean this morning for a swim and a long beach walk with my wife, Julia. And it's been really wonderful to continue to practice a lot of the lessons and teachings of this book. And I've come to realize that, and this is going into now the chapter Lean Just Beyond Your Edge, I've come to realize that the main core of this book is almost like a follow-up for a man's edition of Eckhart Tolle's Be Here Now, or The Power of Now. Power of Now. It's about presence. It's really about presence. And what does that actually mean? How do you actually be present? And I think a lot of the times, us guys, we get a lot in our heads, and even trying to stick up and stand up for your woman, stand up for your purpose, stand up for anything, like you start even getting your head about that. How do you be better? How do you do more? How do you optimize? And presence is essentially having the ability to say, I don't have the answers, and to sit in your fear. That's something I realized with this chapter, Lean Just Beyond Your Edge, something that I might have gotten wrong about the edge earlier. I think it's very easy for people to think about this edge concept as capacity. It's very easy to think about this edge concept as, I'm doing too much or I'm doing too little. So workload too. So it's either, and then it's very easy to think about it as capability. I can't do that. I'm not good enough for that yet. But what I really think the edge is fear. Let me read a few things. Your fear is the sharpest definition of yourself, or of yourself. Yeah. You should know it. You should feel it virtually constantly. Fear needs to become your friend so that you're no longer uncomfortable with it. Rather, primary fear shows you that you are at your edge. Staying with the fear, staying with your edge, allows real transformation to occur. Neither lazy nor aggressive, playing your edge allows you to perceive the moment with the least amount of distortion. See, there you go. I had an exercise with my men's group where I got them to walk along the edge line. And this biggest reason why I think I misconstrued the whole idea about the edge is most people, when they said that they were over the edge, they spoke about like how much they're doing. They spoke about burnout. They spoke about being overdone, cooked, so to speak. But the problem with that was, I feel a lot of us get comfortable in doing too much, right? And I think the burnout is not because we are like growing. The burnout is because we've actually stayed stagnant and to do too much of what is comfortable, to do too much of the wrong thing. So it's actually being well before your edge because you're not actually along and growing. And I think that's the whole purpose here, is to grow and to genuinely fear something, and then through that fear, grow it through it. Neither lazy nor aggressive, playing your edge allows you to perceive the moment with the least amount of distortion. You are willing to be with what is rather than trying to escape by pulling back from it. Very few men have the guts for this practice. Most men either settle for the easy path or self-aggrandize themselves by taking the extreme hard path. So your insecurity may lead you to push, seeking to become victorious over your sense of lack. Both approaches avoid your actual condition in the moment. And this is something that I'm really working with on myself at the moment. Really working with on myself. I have often been like water, and I really believe that I need to be like rock. That's what masculine is. And David Deida talks about this a lot. It's being strong, immovable, unshakable. And I think that's presence, and staying in the discomfort as long as you can and being okay with it. And I think that's really the whole core of this chapter, is knowing that you are fearful, doing it anyway, and making fear your friend. That's another thing that he talks about here. And that is what hanging over the edge actually is. Own your fear and lean just beyond it in every aspect of your life, starting now. I love this chapter. And it's very simple, but it's really a huge thing to come to terms with. This thought: make fear your friend. I think we're so trained to be afraid of fear, so we run away from it, or we try and push through it with all our might and go, I'm going to jump to the other side of the world. Be okay with it. I did a practice this morning which really helped. Went to the ocean, and we were sunbathing just after jumping in for a dip. And sunbathing in the water, in the bit of the sand where the water still comes up. But it was quite a shallow water, so the water only came up occasionally, right? And Julia was sitting up in it, and the water just came through, and sometimes it would come with a rush. And I lay my head down, and I closed my eyes, and I heard the water coming, and I got scared. Not a huge fear, but just a little bit of a fear, enough for me to open my eyes and look up. And I stopped and went, no, this is the moment you practice the fear, practice being okay in it. So I closed my eyes, and the water will come. I'm scared that it's going to wash my face away. It's going to come at such a speed that I get dunked, but that'll be okay. I am the rock. I cannot be moved. And the water came and went, and it was actually just lovely and pleasant. I never got dunked. And even if I did, I think it would have been okay. I think that's really a good example of it. I like that. Anyway, next chapter is Do It for Love. This will be the last chapter that I do from Sri Lanka, I think. So I might film that next week. Anyway, thanks for joining along the book journey, and I'll see you next time.